Alright, so I think I'm live right now, and let's do some TA here. Quick TA today is what is it? 11th of June, 2020. Thursday. So Thursday today the market is gonna open in about 8 hours. 8 hours. So what do we have here? I'm looking at SPX 500 USD, which is the S&P 500 on trading view here. So what we have here is it seems to be that that we are consolidating, right? We're consolidating. We have this little trend line that we've been tracking on the 4-hour chart right here, and we just went through and pretty much broke it. So we are now consolidating on the daily time frame. We're looking for a high low, and our high low support is all the way over here. So bulls have a lot of room to get this high low happening, right? But also what we have is we have this support here zone where we used it as a resistance a few times, and then once we broke it, used it as a support. Then we took off. We made a head and shoulder here, which we broke, which was a fake out at first. I think this was the FOMC last night. Yep, some volatility here. But now we're having the follow through in the after hours so after hours, and now we're actually coming down and we're testing this zone. We're testing this zone which lines up with this support here, this blue line here. If you look, I'm just gonna put it on the weekly, or actually on the daily, and that's the blue line from over here, our first sell off and our first bounce here. So as you can see, we broke through it pretty violently. First we rejected here, we broke through it pretty violently here, and now we're coming back to test it. So it should act as a support right now, especially because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles, almost 7 red candles on the 4-hour chart, right? So and that's why we're bouncing here. This is a key to hold right now. And what's going to happen next, most likely, if we do bounce, is we're going to possibly come back and see how far we get back to retest this trend line. If we only have a small bounce, then we are very likely to form a bear flag and then break it. If we have a stronger bounce, come back, retest it, and see what the action is going to be at this trend line. We could be like last time, where we just go long and go long and go long it for a long time. I think this was over here in this area here. We had this trend line. There was some sort of a trend line. I forget which one. Maybe it was this one, like that, where we're testing it. Anyway, so and the other thing is that we have been, it's just, so far it's just a normal consolidation, looking for daily high low. This is our last daily high low here that you can see, and if we do break this zone, we're going to come down to here, which is the next resistance and support, and we might test it. Might test here at 3,000. So that's the market, I guess, and we're getting fairly euphoric, right? So if you look on tech sector, which is QQQ, we're already at all-time highs, right? All-time highs here. We're getting euphoric on all the tech names: Amazon, Nvidia, Apple. So it's time to be a little bit more careful. it's time to be a little bit more careful here, as this rally is getting fairly euphoric, and the bears are getting basically pushed away on social media. Their voices are no longer loud, and the voices of perma bulls are coming back. Another thing, we're going to have a look at the VIX. VIX is the volatility index, and it's starting to look like we had the big spike, and now we're starting to look like a falling wedge here, right? Maybe if I try to draw it like that, that means we already broke through the bottom. Sorry. We already broke through, and now we want to change we want to break our resistance on the daily for the bulls, and then we can have a spike a little bit higher on the VIX. I don't usually track VIX, but I might try to use it up a bit more in my analysis. Also looking at the Australian Stock Exchange, which is ASX 200. Oh wait, one more thing on the SPY. What I wanted to look at is with the EMA zone, right? Last time we had the day 21 EMA as our guide, but I think now our better guide is the 8 EMA here, because it's been holding since almost a month, 23 days. So what bulls want to do is hold it, and that's what we're testing right now on the SPX 500 USD ticker, which is futures ticker, and we're testing it right now. So we want to hold it at the same time as we're testing this 313 level. So yeah, that's key to hold here in order for us to remain bullish biased. Alright, so Australian one. Looking at Australian, what we have is, if we do a Fibonacci retracement all the way from the top to the bottom, we pretty much rejected from the golden pocket here, so we're going to be careful. At the same time, you got some action in this area here, so that's why we're rejecting. We're overbought here as well. So yeah, here that's all I wanted to say on it. We've got a bit of a support over here, support resistance. Let's see if that holds. Gold. The way that I'm looking at gold is basically it's on this chart here, right? We have, first of all, we still have our weekly channel here that's going up. We rejected from it once again, and we're consolidating. We got our highs on our RSI, which is bearish divergence, so we have to be careful here. But on the daily, what I'm looking at is we have this red zone here, and we have this other red zone, which is basically acting as a range here. So inside this range, it's basically it's contained in there right now. So we came down and we had a strong bounce here. We have a strong bounce. Now we're coming up to the red zone again, and it seems like we're rejecting at least at the start a little bit here. So we just gotta watch if we break up again. But if we break up above this red range, then we got the channel, the weekly channel once again, and we got this multi-year resistance. If I switch to 3 months, that's this one here from last all-time high and a bounce. That's the resistance, and then the next resistance is going to be all-time high, which is 1900 something. Yeah, so that's what I'm tracking here. But fundamentally speaking, I'm bullish on gold. My plan was to load up more positions on the weekly 21 EMA and somewhere here, but we didn't get there yet. So, and we're trying to hold the 8 EMA here on the weekly. So maybe we're gonna have the bullish case and we hold the 8 EMA, but at the same time, you know, I'm just gonna wait until this range, something happens in this range, right? So that's my plan for gold. Well, let's look at the gold compared to S&P 500. So what I had was, I had this channel drawn here, and I had the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, and you can see the golden pocket here. We were coming down over here, and this was a perfect place to bounce, but instead we went down. But now we spilled out of it. We got oversold on the daily, and now we're bouncing back in. Now we're bouncing back. So basically, we are sort of getting supported in this red zone, which is like a multi-year resistance. We are bouncing back into it. We had a spill out, but we're bouncing back pretty well. And while gold possibly gonna go up, S&P 500 may actually go down. And the other thing that I drew here is this blue dotted line, and that could be a falling wedge, instead of a channel, right? Instead of a channel. So if we drew it, I don't know, something like that. It's like a falling wedge here. We're bouncing off. We're gonna come up to the resistance here, and let's see what's gonna happen. And if it's a falling wedge, it's a bullish pattern, and then we're gonna break up here. So I'm looking for a breakup. Mainly, I'm not looking to go down here, but you know, anything is possible. So next one, I want to look at silver. Silver's come up to this resistance zone here, so that's why we have stalled. We're consolidating, but we're still forming higher lows on the daily. And now what we want is, we don't want to break this level. We don't want to break this level. We want to hold it to remain in the daily uptrend, basically. We did get overbought here, and we double topped on the RSI, and we're consolidating here. So it's like a bearish divergence, basically. And let's see what's going to happen here. Silver should be a little bit, it has been much more bullish than gold since this run up, and this run up, it's gone up quite a lot, 15%. So now we expect it to consolidate, and we expect it to consolidate more so than gold. And if we look at the gold and silver ratio, let me just remove these maybe. Gold and silver ratio. But what we were looking at last time, we broke through this grind line here, and we were looking at testing the 100 ratio and then the long-term wedge, and that's exactly what happened. We came back to 200, we had a little bit of a bounce, we set up a bear flag, then we broke it again, and now we're testing the upper wedge here, and we're forming, on the monthly, we're forming a reversal candle at the moment, but the month is not even halfway through, so still a lot of time there. On the weekly, we formed a reversal candle here, and we're forming another indecision candle here. So possibly gold is due for a bounce versus silver, so gold should be stronger, and we should get some sort of a bounce going here. The other thing is that we're getting a bullish, well, we're getting an RSI to making a higher low here, and there isn't bullish divergence here, but we're forming a high low, and we're forming a high low on the price action as well. So we're forming a, if we haven't, it could be said that this is a hidden bearish divergence here, because we got lower high here, but we got this one is higher than this one, price action, but we have RSI, this one, lower than this one, therefore it's a bearish divergence, and usually that's a bearish hidden divergence, and usually that should indicate continuation of the bearish trend here. But we'll see what happens. We got some support here. We pretty much got into my zone, so I'm just gonna wait and see for more signals. Maybe we're just gonna go sideways here for a while, just to consolidate and so that people can make more decisions here. What's gonna happen next? Let's go look at dollar. Dollar has been dumping a lot. And it's just so dependent on the policies of the Federal Reserve printing. It's been oversold for ages as well here, for a week or so. So it's probably due to a bounce now, right? So it's probably due for a bounce. It's got oversold. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if it's going to come up and test 98. 98 here, right? 98 would be a good place to come up to retest around this area. Yeah, and Federal Reserve has been printing a lot. That's why dollar's been going down. Australian dollar, obviously, the American versus American dollar has been going up because American dollar has been going down. But now we are coming to some resistances here, and basically. Yeah, it seems that we're rejecting right now. We're forming a reversal candle on the weekly. I have actually a note here saying that bears, so lots of resistance from horizontal supply zone. So, it starts all the way here, and I think if you zoom out, there's more action at this level. Like there's a lot of action at this level historically. So this is a significant zone, and we're getting a rejection from here. Monthly trend line pushing it down. So on the monthly, I've got this trend line here. It's also acting as a resistance, right? It's acting as a resistance. We've got monthly 21 EMA. Monthly 21 EMA. Let's have a look at it. Let's put it on. So monthly 21 EMA. We're currently over it, but the month is only not halfway through yet. So if we do reject, this is going to be a nasty looking rejection. If we do close this month below the 21 EMA. So all the bears need is just to reject here, right? All the bears need is just to reject here, and then we're gonna start looking for a higher low on the weekly, which we are overdue for. I mean, the last higher low is probably somewhere here. It's 0635 level, 0366 level, and that's a weak higher low, right? It's like it's been a V-shaped recovery basically. So we need a weekly high low somewhere. We got a lot of room to work with. We got the bull cross on the EMAs on the weekly. Obviously on the daily we are bullish. We're testing the 8 EMA and we're getting rejected. So I'm more bearish here than bullish. And we broke this resistance here and rejected. So that's another clue. So yeah, we want to see some sort of consolidation, and then we can make further decision by looking at what the consolidation looks like. If the consolidation is really strong, then we're going to see Australian dollar getting weaker, and we can make decision later of what's going to happen. But it's currencies, so currencies are heavily manipulated by the governments and the Federal Reserve and the Central Bank of Australia, RBA. So you gotta take everything with a grain of salt here in terms of TA. Oil has bounced from zero, so there was a good entry at zero if you could somehow make it. I think you can't really do that because futures did not really go down to zero. So yeah, Bitcoin, let's have a look at Bitcoin. First of all, without any of the drawings, we got supply zone here. We're testing this high here, so this is a resistance level, right? This is a supply zone, and we did have this fake out on the weekly with this wick, and we rejected. So now we're hovering still at it. So the thing is that we had this fake out here, and then we had the dump, but now we're sort of going sideways, and we haven't dumped yet. Putting the drawings back on, so we got this trend line here which we're grinding against. So if we do use it as a support, we need to break above 10,500 to confirm break above this level, or for the bears we just need to break down, and then we got supports here. I think the first support is going to be at 9,570 on Binance, and 9,372, and we're in this red zone, and I'm treating this as a fake out right now. That's why my red zone is just in this area here, and at the moment we got another week in the daily, and we're forming another week now, but the day has just started. We still got 18 hours to go. Our side is really flat, so basically we're looking for a big move. We're looking for a big move very, very soon. Like it should be happening, right now almost. We got this one, this red zone, and we got this trend line, and we're basically at the apex. We feel pretty much 100% of it, so we need to make a move. The volume has been reducing. We are below the average volume here, so any sort of volume that comes in, it's going to push either up or down. We're going to have volume. If we push down here, we're looking at this zone here as a next support at 8,750 to 8,500, 560. And up, if we break up, we will, we will be testing this area here, which is, maybe let's draw it, right? We're going to be testing possibly this area here, which is 11,400. So yeah. So around there we're going to be testing. We do have this resistance here as well to look for, but anyway, like there's action here, and then there's no action until the huge all-time high. So if we break up here, it's going to be really, really good. And if we turn this area then into support at 10,000, above 10,000, we'll be cheering, But keep in mind that if the market generally starts to consolidate, we're likely to see consolidation on the Bitcoin, and because it's been influenced by the markets as well, right? So we might still stay in this weekly. We broke out of this weekly triangle, right? So I've got this body-to-body drawn on the weekly time frame, and we came back here, bang, bang, bang. We were rejecting, we're testing it, and now we did close last week's candle above it. So if we close this candle above it, this week's candle above it, which is until Sunday, we got 3 or 4 days, 3 days, 19 hours, then the bulls can get a bit more of a confidence that we're breaking out of this very macro triangle, and we have more fuel to go up. So I'm watching this very, very closely, and on this fake out they got me. This was a fake out. I entered, I was up a really good amount, but then we dumped, and I had to take the loss. I had to take a pretty big loss actually. So now let's see what's going to happen. This was a fake out, so you expect it to dump more so than you expect it to go up again. But let's see what's going to happen. We need volume, so whichever the volume comes, that's the way we're going to break. Bitcoin dominance, let's have a look at the dominance real quick. Sorry, this is not the dominance. Here's the Bitcoin dominance on the weekly. That's what I like to look at it like, and it looks like it's rejected from this long channel here from 2018. Now it's rejecting again. Let's see what's going to happen on the weekly RSI. Look at that. We're testing this support here. We're testing this support, so let's see if it holds. If we draw this here, we broke out and now we're retesting it. So bulls have some sort of a setup here possibly to go higher for Bitcoin dominance chart. Fundamentally, of course, I think the chart will eventually go down as Bitcoin doesn't have much going in terms of usability, which I think is important. And yeah, I think, but let's see if this technicals hold right now, and we go up here with the RSI technicals on the weekly, right? Let's quick look on the daily. We're just going, look at the RSI is just straight, so we're going sideways here. So yeah, once again, yeah, I just like the weekly. So Ethereum looks it's following Bitcoin, right? But it's got this red zone that we need to break up above. So if we break above 253.80 on Binance, it's going to be a bull break, and then we got the next resistance at 249.82, which is going to be almost 10%. So this could be a good play here. This could be a good play here to just buy on the break and then put a stop loss nearby, because this break could be a violent one. We've been consolidating for 11 days already, so this is a good amount of consolidation. The volume is falling. It could be like let's have a look at it on 3 days. It's a 3-day bull flag right now. So we got the wicks to the downside, we got 1 week to the upside. That's the fake out, and it's looking like a bull flag right now. So yeah, maybe we just confirm and boom, smash through, and then we start testing these zones here. This zone here. So yeah, 280. Sorry, yeah, that's 280 here, and this is 277. No resistance until then on the 3 days chart. We'll break this double top here. We'll break this double top. So this could be actually, yeah, I'm definitely gonna play it if I'm awake during this breakout. So yeah, this will be a really good one with a stop loss, of course. All right, ETH versus Bitcoin, also a bull flag here, and we broke above this trend line. We retested it, turned it into support at the moment. So let's see. We're right now at the volume by price, and yeah, it's looking good, right? It's looking good, except for the bearish divergence. But who cares about bearish divergence? Just get some volume happening, and yeah. What else I'm gonna look at? I'm gonna look at Tesla. Tesla is at all-time high breakout, which is wow. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I closed most of my position today. I actually got faked out yesterday here, which was really stupid, and I wasn't really paying attention. Actually, I'll show you my mistake, right? I was so let's zoom in here on the 5-minute. On the 5-minute chart, huge mistake. So I entered somewhere here, entry 917, good side of position on when was this, 8th of June, Monday, on the consolidation, and then I let it ride the whole day and I didn't do anything because I was looking bullish. Then overnight we consolidated, and basically they stopped me out over here. I stopped out some more position and I held the 1/3. I held the 1/3, and then I basically didn't look at the market, and this was a very clear entry point here with 2 weeks on the 5-minute. I did not enter here, and as soon as I looked, we were already at this area here, so I basically wasn't gonna enter. I didn't enter. It was a 1% away from the bottom already. I didn't re-enter, and then we ran up, consolidated, and closed around here. And then yesterday, boom, we opened up in the pre-market. The price just went through the roof. We opened up really high up. As soon as we opened, actually I sold most of my position on the pre-market, and then we just kept going up the whole day with my final position. And I think I took off some more, and I just got a minuscule position now. Compared to my starting position, which I will just hold. It's only very small, so it doesn't matter what happens. The other thing I was going to look at is pen. I played yesterday as well, because we had out of the. So first of all, looking at the daily here, it was this candle was not formed yesterday, so we were 3 days of consolidation from all-time high consolidation. And I was looking at the 5-minute here, and I was interested, so I started buying when we started dropping. I think I bought here, then I scaled in some more, and then once we started bouncing, we formed this candle, 5-minute candle on high volume here. I added more on this candle here because it looked like a reversal, and then I started scaling out as we were starting going up, just for safety, because my entry was not optimal, because I started scaling in here and I kept scaling in, and then I bought some here, so my average was, I think, 3070 or something like that. So I started scaling out, and I scaled out most of my position by the time we started consolidating here, and then I left a small position to ride last night, and I took off some here, I think, as well. But now we're consolidating with the market, so I have a very tiny position left, and let's see what's going to happen today. I just put my stop level under the low here for my last peanuts of position, and if we get stopped out, it's still a good trade and it's still up positive. So that's all I wanted to look at. Maybe a quick look at the DraftKings. I had one option, I'm testing around how to play with options, and I bought an option that expires on this Friday, after tomorrow, after today's open, after today's day, so tomorrow. So, and I think I put 33, so, and I only have one option here, so it's tiny loss if we don't get there. But it looks like this is gonna go up here, so it looks like DraftKings are gonna go up. If you look back there at all-time highs, we had the consolidation from all-time highs, but we formed this huge wick here, and now we're having a reduced volume, very low volume here, and it's looking like bears don't have any follow-through. So let's see what's going to happen. We're going to have to pay attention to what SPX is doing, and if SPX is not bouncing, then maybe DraftKings is going to go down as well, and SPX can take everything down with it. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, and yeah, maybe I'll play Nikola today, because look at Nikola, right? This is the hype stock. 600%, 160% in like a couple of days basically. Now it's consolidating. Looking at the 1 hour, it's not oversold yet, so if it gets oversold, I'll get in, I'll buy. What do we got here? We got the support over here, and then we got a little bit of a one over here. So yeah, I'll be looking at it. A bit of action here as well. Possibly golden pocket lining up, depends where you started from. This was a good area to bounce. Well, that's why we bounce here. Came up, boom, huge bounce. That was the bounce to catch. 50%, 56% bounce right there. Already happened. So now we're looking at what's going to happen. We're going to go lower and then bounce here. So if we go lower to 1 hour, we'll start scaling in. Scaling because it's going to be the first 1 hour oversold since the huge run, and usually those result in good bounces. And if you look at the historical, not much history here. 1 hour oversold. This doesn't count. I mean, maybe over here we had 1 hour oversold. Boom, we went 25%, or about 12% straight up from the oversold. Maybe here it was closer, so about 13% here. So good bounces on 1 hour oversold, and it almost never gets 1 hour oversold. So if we do, maybe I'll start scaling in a bit earlier, and I'm gonna have a look at the candle shapes once again, maybe on 5-minute or 2-minute time frames. And if we start forming on normal hours candles like this, especially if we get a tweezer bottom or something like that, then I can get in, put a stop under it, and then expect 7 to 10% to 15% bounce, and the risk to reward is gonna be good, right? So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Just so in summary, bulls really want to bounce here above this SPX 500. What zone is this? 313. 313. We want to bounce, and then see what the bounce is going to look like. Bears obviously just want more follow through, but we are oversold in 1 hour. We're getting close to oversold on 4 hours, but still got room to run. And we have broken this trend line here. So, and the bear volume is possibly increasing here. So we're gonna have to have a look at today what's going to happen. Anyway, my first live video, let's see if it worked or not.